NHL regular season recap, night 151. We kick things off with the Battle of NYC. Once again, the Islanders taking on the Rangers. It's the same outcome, different score, and of course, indoors instead of outdoors this time. Bo Horvat scoring one in the first and in the second. The only two goals the Islanders would score. The Rangers don't get the scoring going until the second period, whereas Zibanejad, Cooley, and Johnny Brodzinski. And then in the third, Capo Caco and Alexei Lafreniere both scoring, and it's a 5-2 final here for the blue shirt. Shesterkin a little bit better than his counterpart in Sorokin, 25 of 27, while Sorokin 26 of 31 for an 839. Shesterkin had a 926, and of course the 2 points. The Islanders now, because they don't get up points here, they are now just outside the playoffs, despite Detroit also losing tonight, and of course the Rangers still holding on to first in the Metro Division. The Devils taking on the Golden Knights, and it was a pretty good goaltending battle. Not something you hear very often with a New Jersey game, but no goals until the third period. Nico Hischier scores about half a minute in to make it 1-0, but then a few minutes later, Will Carrier, and then about half a period later, Jack Eichel make it a 2-1 game. William Karlsson would tack on the empty netter, and it's a 3-1 win here for Vegas. They're not quite in that divisional spot yet, and of course for New Jersey, they're now 7th in the Metro and quite a ways out from that last playoff spot in the East. Still not impossible for them, but definitely tough. Both goalies really good. Jake Allen, 34 of 36, while Logan Thompson, 20 of 21 in the winning effort. The Penguins taking on the Detroit Red Wings, and this game puts a huge wrinkle into the playoff mix in the East. The Red Wings could create a 3-point gap, I believe, over the other teams chasing them in the wildcard race. And of course, the Penguins prior to tonight were like 5 points out or something like that, or no, 7 points out. They're now 5 points out. They win this one by a final score of 6-3. Riley Smith, Sidney Crosby, and Puustinen, Vlahteri Puustinen, I think is how you pronounce it, all scoring in the first. Lucas Raymond, the only goal for the Red Wings. Bunting and Eller adding 2 more for the Pens in the second, while Christian Fischer adds the only Red Wings goal in that frame. And then Lucas Raymond again, and Drew O'Connor adds the empty netter. And again, a 6-3 win here for the Penguins, who looked like they had a ton of life in this game. It was a much different looking Penguins team than what we've seen the last couple weeks. And for Detroit, really wasn't all that great. They get outshot 38-28. Alex Lyon with some iffy goals, some goals he didn't have much of a chance on, but one way or another, a massive 2 points here for the Penguins, and of course that helps out guys like the Capitals, the Islanders, the Sabres, the Devils, like all these other teams that are involved in the East race, and then of course Tampa Bay and Philly as well. So big 2 points here for the Penguins. They win it by a final of 6-3. The Senators taking on the Hurricanes, and this game got pretty damn ugly, especially in the third period. Orlov and Shabbat trading goals in the first, Kuznetsov, Stützle, and then Jarvis trading in the second, and we all know what happens for the Hurricanes. When Seth Jarvis scores, they are damn near undefeated, and in the third, that stays true. Chatfield, Orlov with his second, Gensel, and then Brendan Lemieux all scoring. It's a 7-2 final for the Hurricanes over Ottawa here. Dmitry Orlov with 4 points, 2 goals, 2 assists. Aho with 3 assists as well. Freddie Anderson, 30 of 32 for a 938, while Anton Forsberg had a rough night, 31 of 38 for an 816. Oof. 7-2 final here. It's a rough one for the Sens, a big one for the Canes. They're trying to keep up with the Rangers to see if they can take over that top Metro spot before the end of the year. These 2 points definitely help that out again. It's a 7-2 final here for Carolina. The Jets visiting Columbus, and the skill gap between these two teams is damn near equal to the one in the previous game between Carolina and Ottawa. It's a 6-1 trouncing of the Blue Jackets here for Winnipeg. Kyle Connor, the only goal in the first. Nick Ehlers, Tyler Toffoli, Logan Stanley, and Vlad Domestikov in the second. Brendan Gaunce breaks the shutout bid for Hellebuck in the third, just 40 seconds in, but Tyler Toffoli adds his second, and it rounds us out to that 6-1 score. Hellebuck was really, really good. 30 of 31. The Blue Jackets actually outshot Winnipeg 31-27, but of course they only get one by Connor, and the Jets get plenty by Elvis Merzlikins. He goes 21 for 27 for a 778, an even worse performance than Anton Forsberg's, despite that he gives up one less goal. Nonetheless, a dominant performance here from the Jets, taking advantage of their opportunities, and of course, Connor Hellebuck doing Connor Hellebuck things. 6-1 here is the final. The Hawks taking on the Sharks in the battle for Macklin Celebrini, and the Sharks lose, but kind of win this one because they lost anyway. Devin Cooley, his NHL debut, not great, but not horrible. 26 of 30 for an 867. The Sharks actually scored the first 2 goals in this game over the halfway point of the first, but in the second, Kurashev makes it a 2-1 game, and then in the third, the Hawks complete the comeback effort. It's Donato, Korchinski, Anderson, and Bedard on the empty net, and it rounds out to be a 5-2 win for the Hawks. Peter Mrazek was pretty good. Once again, a rare occurrence where he's not the busier of the 2 goalies. He goes 25 for 27 for a 926 in the winning effort here. Again, you kind of want the team to lose the game in this one because they're facing off against the Sharks, but whatever, they'll take it. The Sharks are probably happy to. It gets them that much closer to Celebrini. 5-2 Blackhawks here is the final. The Blues taking on the Ducks in a game that could usually be a trap game. They take care of business. Troy Terry does score 2 here for the Ducks in his return, but Kevin Hayes makes it a 1-1 game in the second. Thomas making it 2-1 in the third, and then Neighbors and Thomas with his second makes it 4-1. Terry's second goal doesn't come until 8 seconds remaining in the entire game. Lucas Dostal, 23 of 27 for an .852. One of these weird things where he seems to play better when he faces more shots. Tonight, just an .852 on those 27 shots he faces, while Joel Hofer, pretty solid here, 26 of 28, for a .929 save percentage. And of course, the 2 points. This is a huge win for St. Louis as they try to keep pace with Minnesota in the Western race, but they get it done tonight. We'll see if they can keep it up moving forward. That's going to be it for NHL regular season recap, night 151. We'll talk to you guys tomorrow for, I believe, just 2 games, so get some sleep. We'll talk to you guys then.